Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of STROTA Consultech, having been running this company for last 6 years, helping small and medium businesses to stabilize, grow. In this initiative called as HATKE, we are talking to various individuals, eminent personalities, individuals who have contributed at Indian levels, international levels, and mattered a lot. So we have a great pleasure to have somebody who is of different origin than Indian. I would call him Tomio-san. So welcome Tomio-san to this platform. Thank you so much.
Hi, Kirishan. Thank you. And very nice to meet you again like this under COVID situation. And I'll be very happy to be with you here today. And let me just talk about something very, very different from the others.
Hatke as such in Hindi, Tomio-san, stands for differentiated, being unique, thinking differently, doing differently. You have been there and been doing that, where cultural business exchange between Indian and Japanese are concerned.
Right.
You've been spending years together. You had been managing director earlier of Sharp in India. Having played international roles, worked across the countries. So I wanted to start with this word hatke, and I think you have something.
Kirishan, there is one thing I like to tell you. When I heard about the word hatke, I thought of something different. Hatke really sounds like a Japanese word.
Oh.
Really? Did you know that?
No.
You know, hatke, when I heard about hatke, exactly sounds like one Japanese word, hakke. Hakke. Yeah, it can be spelled out the same way. We spell out them a little bit differently. H-A-K-K-E, hakke. But it can be H-A-T-K-E, hatke. Right? Same, like your hatke. And this hatke in Japanese, it's derived from China. Actually, the origin is in China, and in China they call it in a different way in their language, because hatke is a combination of two things, two words into one. The first one, hat, the first part, hat, meaning number 8. Number 8. Yeah, and number 8 is considered to be a lucky number from the Chinese perspective, not from the Japanese perspective, but we all import those concepts from China, a lot of them. So actually the calligraphy or the literature and script itself, the kanji script itself is called Chinese character. So we import many things and many concepts from China. That one of them is hatke. Yes.
Oh.
And this hatke means, I'm not a very expert in explaining that, but as far as I know, it's a kind of fortune teller.
Okay.
Fortune teller. And 8 means, for example, just let me show you something.
Okay.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
Here is something you may be aware.
Oh.
This type of thing is hatke.
Oh.
Because there are 8 directions, right? And in the nature, from north, south, east, west, and northeast and southwest, there are 8 directions.
Right.
That is the number 8 coming from, right?
Wonderful.
So the hatke means kind of 8 directions, 8 kind of paths, 8 kind of destinies. It's a fortune telling. By the direction, there are certain meanings for each one of them. Each one of us, I mean. So it's very much interesting to know about hatke. When I told me about that, I immediately think of this hatke as like a fortune teller for us all. So it shows a direction which direction to go is a kind of life itself. Isn't that interesting?
It sounds like a synergy from the word go, and it looks like a chakra. We call it a chakra. It's
Ha,
like
ha, ha.
a circular thing, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
amazing where those 8 directions. Uh,
Right, right. Yeah. Very similar concept, I think, and similar meanings may be inside. Yeah.
And that's excellent. I would say it's a good way to start. Now thinking about what all you have been doing, the way that you've strongly connected back in India, and you are building that bridge of culture, of dimension of art, dimension of business. So how do you see that? How do you look back and see yourself last, as a journey, contributing to this bigger cause?
Well, since long back, I've been outside of Japan. I have been living in outside world for a long time. I have lived in 5 countries outside Japan, starting from Saudi Arabia. Then I went to United States of America, and then I went down to Mexico, which is another totally different world. And then coming back to Middle East, Dubai, UAE, and where I was in charge of all sharp business domains, and I was responsible for all territory-wise from Middle East to even Africa. Even Africa was included. So it was a vast territory that I had to cover, and I couldn't do that, obviously. And then my last mission was to me assigned to be in India.
Okay.
Since then, it's been 10 years. I just celebrated my 10th anniversary last month in January,
Wow.
right? And when I came here, I felt the energy, the energy from the young people, and India itself growing fast. Japan has been stagnant in the last 3 decades without any growth of economy, and the people are depressed and very dull and bored, or boring kind of life they've been living. But here, India, every day is an excitement.
Fine.
That excited me to be here, and I felt very important that Indians and Japanese can become really, really strong partners from the heart, from the heart. You as one of my friends, I feel like you as real brother.
Absolutely.
There is no boundary. There is no kind of a barrier in between you and me.
True.
I feel like just talking to my brother or best friends, right? So it's like a kind of hearty sentimentals that we feel compassions, and we can share empathies and many things.
Wow.
I felt like this because I got so many friends here, particularly here in Pune. That's why I felt that here is my place. So when I graduated, I say graduated from Sharp, actually it was a retirement. When I retired from Sharp, after 37 years long dedicated service to that one single company after my graduation from the college, see, that in retirement started here. Retirement from Sharp Corporation just happened here in India. So when I was retiring, I was not really retiring, of course. So I thought about just coming back to India and to become a bridge person, connecting India, Japan, commercial, academic, culture, and I felt like this is my place to be. So that's how I'm here.
Wonderful. And as we were talking, you were giving a perspective about being flexible against fragile, because now if you've seen in last 1 year there had been a lot of impact on the businesses, impact of COVID, and everything is locked down, and you see that life has become a little bit fragile, and it is important to be agile, to be flexible, open to for the changes. So I think there is a perspective you would have, Tomio-san. I would definitely like to hear that.
Yes, Shirish-san, actually, this COVID-19 gave me a lot of different perspective. And actually, truly, I was very much positive, in many ways. Oh, you show this, VUCA. This is the totally VUCA situation, VUCA environment we're living. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Yes, we are all surrounded by this. But I had the vision, right? I like to use this new version of VUCA. First, you have to have a vision. I have to become the bridge person between India and Japan. It's a long term, and in many aspects. Yes, understanding each other, understanding the Indian people, understanding the Japanese, kind of mindsets and so forth, and having a clarity what to do next, right? And in an agile way, not to lose the time and not to waste the time. In fact, in the COVID-19, I started to teach online. I'm a teacher, visiting faculty to MIT University. I'm teaching global marketing and cross-cultural management at the college for MBA students. See, I just started to use this format, this platform. I never used actually. I never used Skype. I never used any kind of online systems. Never before. I just started to do that once the COVID-19 has got the lockdown, and I was forced to teach online. That's when I started to work online. And when I started to work online, I realized there is no boundaries. There is no distance. There is nothing to brought me to go and to do the job. So after that, I started to interact. I started to participate. I started to meet the people online. Everything can be online. So I could go even to reach the Japanese people, Japanese conference, Japanese universities, interact with the Japanese students, which I have never imagined before, right? So in my case, in my personal case, I got more jobs to do under the COVID because of this online situation, right? Online possibilities to meet the people and, perform some, assignments. That has been done. So in the last, say, 6-7 months, I have conducted more than 50 times of lectures online.
Wow.
50 times lectures as well as conferences, participating as a speaker, guest speaker to any events, forums, and workshops. I have done this more than 50 times in the last year, till today. So that's amazing change. One more thing, personally, because I had to cook myself, right? I was living here alone, and depending on these services, outside services, sometimes catering services, but most of the time I spend my eating habits outside.
Oh,
But it's been stopped completely. So I started to work in the kitchen, right, myself, and then gradually and step by step I learned how to cook.
wonderful.
And the variety of foods I started to cover, and I now can say that I have become a good cook already.
Wonderful.
And also that have the very good positive side effects. You know what? I could control my weight much better than before.
It's a matter
I
of,
wanted to lose my weight. Okay, I wanted to lose my weight. I did it by cooking myself. How's that?
it is wonderful where every challenge like COVID throws a lot of opportunity for us to engage for learning new things. I think you were talking about reskilling, thinking about something that you've never done, start doing that and explore that area.
Yeah.
Uh, remove that comfort, come out of the comfort zone, and explore yourself. You definitely have that kind of a capability.
Correct.
Now, we were talking
Right.
about, what are the things that got changed, or perspective about COVID-19 as we come out of come out of it now, and as a new normal is getting set in. So definitely, I think you have some perspective that you would like to share on the same.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. I have one good slide to show you.
Yeah. Yeah, Tomio.
Yeah, this is it. So this was from the World Economic Forum that I got, last June. And they say that there are 5 ways that COVID-19 has changed the workforce management style. And there are 5 like this. Number 1, rapid reskilling or upskilling has been the requirements. Yes, quick adoption to a new and advanced technology, just as I have done. See, within just about 10 days, I got to learn. I needed to learn how to use this new platform. Yeah, it was a kind of a very, kind of a sweating time that I had, because my online lecture was scheduled, just a fixed schedule, and I had to, set up a new facility like this. I didn't have even I wasn't using a laptop that has a camera in it.
Okay.
And I had to change to a new PC, new laptop,
Right.
which has the camera in it, just like this, right? So I had to set up everything as quick as possible and to adopt to the new ERP system, that installed by the college. And there are some new type of application that I have to adapt to that. Right? So that was the one number for everybody. Number 2, changing leadership and management competencies. And it said corporate culture and leadership skills focus on empathy. This empathy is the key word, I think. I just got this empathy as a great word to describe, because without empathy, there is no leadership, there is no teamwork, there is no performance, right? Because being separately, at home, everyone working at home, then they are not getting together, they are not feeling face-to-face meetings, they're not, they are not meeting anyone. So everything is virtual. So empathy has to be a great role to harmonize the environment, the workforce, and to keeping the harmony, keeping the teamwork spirit, and a lot of enthusiasm. So I think that this number 2 is very important. Number 3, a culture of trust, transparency, and openness is another point. And it says here, all to be supportive of one another. Yes, this is related to number 2.
You know what,
but
Tomio-san?
more completely.
Tomio-san,
Yeah.
I just remembered you have a perspective of on Gandhiji, the great leader of India, and also about those 3 monkeys, right? So we have some slides on that where you have a perspective in it, right?
Would you like to show it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So these 3 wise monkeys, I hear from the many Indians that Mahatma Gandhi ji was talking about it, and speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil has become the norm for the days, and most of the Indian people came to know about those 3 wise monkeys, right? But actually, do you know this photograph itself? This photograph shown here in this slide is taken from Japan. It is one photograph of 3 wise monkeys shown actually existing in one of the shrines in Japan where people go and worship the gods. So amazingly, almost all Japanese people also know about those 3 wise monkeys. And I think only Japan and India, only Indian people and Japanese people, they all know about the same three wise monkeys. How's that?
Right, and then you have a version
Yes.
how that translated into unwise monkeys.
Yes, I found this. I found this because from the Times of India, I believe. You know, this is from the Indian newspaper. I got it. I got it some time ago, and I got impressed by this because there are many people seeing no evils, hearing no evil, and speaking no evil, but they are following and sharing all evils every day.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm telling this. This is a message to my students. I'm telling the students, don't be this monkey. Yes,
Yes, and eventually it evolves
I
into
keep
three,
telling them.
three smart monkeys, right?
Then, yes, I found this from a very close friend of mine here in Pune. He told me and he showed me this. There is a Rigveda message,
Mm-hmm.
the ancient wisdom of India. Rigveda was telling us, if I pronounce it right or not, Ano Badra Kratavayantu Vishbata, like that.
Mm.
And it says, may good thoughts come to us from all directions. So I keep telling the students, don't be the three smart monkeys, but here, look at those monkeys. Speak out, listen up, and see it all, right? This is what you need to be. So let's forget about those three wise monkeys anymore and be three smart monkeys like this. This is my message, and always I keep telling the students.
Super.
How's that?
That's really wonderful. Now, talking about Japan, I think Japanese culture, the art, and the way that you have dedication, focus, consistency, your punctuality. So, do you want to share some perspective about how this the it has imbibed into Japanese culture and way of working in
Yes, good.
businesses that makes Japanese
Right, right.
differentiated?
Yeah, in fact, I have made some slides on that because, as you know, Japan has defeated by the World War II, and in the year 1945, by the two atomic bombs dropped by the Americans, and Japan surrendered to the Allies. That was the day when the World War II ended. It was 1945, and in the year 1968, Japan has made number two economy, only next to USA. So it's been only 2 decades and plus. Isn't that amazing? Only during the 2 decades and plus years, Japan has made number two economy from the ashes, right? So there has been some secret behind it. And I can tell from my own perspective, from my own experience, as a second generation after war, I was also experiencing why and how Japan could recover from the such a disastrous defeat.
Hmm.
Yeah, can I just share that?
Yeah. You have it.
So one slide I compiled. Yeah, secrets of Japan's success from my perspective. Okay, number one is hard work. Hard working. 65 days, 24 hours a day, and 7 days a week. I've been working myself. When I joined the Sharp Corporation, I was working very hard, harder than anybody, and without even thinking about how much I could be paid for the overtime, right? Overtime charges are payable, but I didn't even care how much overtime I've been doing and how much overtime pay I'll be receiving. I didn't care. I just kept working a little very hard. Number two, obey all the set rules. This is the number two rule, and the very basic common virtue of life in Japan. Everybody follows the rules. Everybody, right? So you can't just escape from that. See, if you see all the people are following the rule, you cannot be the one who violate that. You can't. That is the situation. That is the kind of mindset all the Japanese people had and still is, right? Number 3 is the punctuality. The punctuality in Japan is too extreme, as you may know, too extreme that even 1 minute late, or even 1 minute later, coming late or joining late, being late by 1 minute is not acceptable at all in Japan. How's that? See, because everybody just come on time, right? And there are 2 meetings in the corporate world as well as in the government offices as well. See, there are 2 meetings every day, in the morning and in the evening. When they get together at 9 o'clock, say 9 o'clock is the time for the work time, then at 9 o'clock sharp, they all get together with the manager and they all share the common information, right? And at the end of the day, they get together again to meet and see what has happened today. So it's a very productive way of the management, meeting in the first place and share commonly what to and what are the priorities and so forth, what to be done today. Then at the end of the day, at 5 o'clock, they get together again by the same team under the leadership of the manager. They review what has happened, what will be the pending issues and leftovers and so forth, right?
Right.
And intensive planning, horenso. Horenso is a Japanese word, so I skipped to that. Yeah. But this is reporting, informing, and consulting to the boss.
Just when we are speaking about Tomio-san, I remember our discussion about being punctual in a meeting, and we were talking about a business meeting, and somebody going late to a critical meeting can actually result into loss of job, loss of opportunity, loss of contract, and there is no mercy. I mean, it is lost is a loss, right?
Right. Once it's lost. Yeah. So you can't just take a risk on that, right?
Right.
So may I continue?
Please.
So 5S Kaizen are the keywords in manufacturing, especially, and it has to become a daily work by everyone, not just for the shop workers only, not only for the QC managers, but all entire management has to get into that. And teamwork, this is very important. That's why I put it in a red mark. Teamwork is very important rather than the standing play by individuals. I see a lot of standing play by individuals here in India. Indian people tend to become the leader. They want to become the leader. They want to control everybody. So the teamwork spirit is seemingly lesser here. I can say, if you come up with teamwork spirit, it's a strong driver for successful teamwork. Then the leader should play as a mentor and facilitator and guidelines and so forth. There has to be such a kind of a transformation from the Indian management style. That's my recommendation, right? And the consensus decision making is that no big boss can make a decision right away. It's all about consensus building and consensus collective decision making, right? Those are the secrets behind the Japan's successful, and which I experienced myself.
Excellent. I believe it is indeed something that everybody has to learn by heart, internalize and follow as things move forward. Now, taking a look at this new normal that is coming in, where everything has become online, things have become online. Do you see there is any change in the business environment in Japan because of this change?
Yes, of course. Everything is now conducted by online. So people tend to work virtually, and such is the case. Then, very few cases to meet up people. So obviously the productivity gets less unless you well control the outflow or the outcome of the assignments and tasks and so forth. So there has been a lot of importance has been more onto the personal touch, personal contacts, not just virtual meetings or online, but also you just keep talking personally on one. Sometimes you have to do after the group meeting, that you have to meet a boss, one-on-one. So more importance to make the one-on-one meetings even virtually is getting more and more important, because you're not going to meet them, So that such kind of work style has become new normal, as I see.
Excellent. And we were talking about the average age in Japan as something as growing. As you see, the generation next has to step in, and there is a good amount of opportunities for outsiders like Indians to show their talent, to acquire those skills and fulfill those jobs. Right? There is a good amount of opportunities in Japan. You're speaking. So
Yes, I keep speaking about that because Japan is the fastest growing, aging population, the fastest aging population, and we boast of the life expectancy as longest, one of the longest nation. But that means a lot of care is being necessary. A lot of care must be taken for those aging population. But unfortunately, on the reverse side, we have the lack of manpower, because we are, our population keep declining. So the young people, young generation are very much late in marriages and late in giving birth to the children, and the number of children, babies are less and less every year, and less number of people are getting married even. So the young people are having their own different perspective and their different mindset. So this led to the very negative situation in Japan in demography. We are reducing the number of population, the lesser and lesser number of youngsters. That created the shortage of manpower in the workplaces, and a lot more necessity in the elderly care, is another place where we have a lot of shortages. So I keep working here for the Indian youngsters who are getting more educated, and more numbers are coming out of the society and looking for a great job, and lack of the enough opportunities, they are suffering. So I keep telling the young people in India, you will have a great opportunity to work in a very decent jobs in Japan. See, we need you as our neighbors, as our brothers and sisters, to live together. We are welcoming, the Japanese government is welcoming all foreigners to come to work in Japan, but particularly now we focusing on the Indian, people. Welcome to come to Japan. But one thing is very important for you to know: to go and work in Japan, you have to learn some level of Japanese language. That is a barrier, maybe. But if you're very much aspirant to and keen to work in Japan, searching a great job, yes, you have the opportunity. Once you start learning Japanese, and if you reach some level of proficiency that you can live comfortably in Japan, then you are very welcome to Japan.
excellent. I think that's amazing perspective about opportunities for business and a state guideline that you need to know the language. So Tomio-san, it had been great to have time with you to hear your insights, perspectives in this discussion. But as you have spent so much of time in India, have you started liking something in India, say maybe the food or the culture or something?
Well, I've been into everything. I love Indian food and culture, and I wear the Indian suits and Indian, kurtas and many things. And this is even a Northeast Indian jacket, actually, I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And I love all the dancing, the music, musical instruments, even though I don't play any, but I enjoy listening to them. And particularly for the movies as well. No, nice, great movies are all there. And I really like the Japanese people to start enjoying it. Only few people now do, but I hope that more and more, export of Indian culture to Japan will happen in the future.
Superb. I think it's a great honor to have you on this platform. Thanks for your time. It has been, really wonderful.
Great to me to interact like this with you, and after so long time, we didn't spend any time to speak actually, but you gave me a great platform and opportunity to talk about Indo-Japan relationship, which I do believe from my heart, India and Japan can become the strongest partners for a long time. No any other countries in the world. We can become the strongest partners, like just you and me. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. It had been an honor to talk to you and also getting called as a friend, dear, and something like a brother. I wish, and all of our wishes are with you, Tomio-san, for the progress that you're making, the kind of mission that you've started to get India, Japan together. I'm sure that it will be more and more successful, yes, and it will reach heights that it deserves. Thank you.
Yes, I keep going anyway. Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं।
बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है।
सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।